This short clip is from my live trading room. You can engage directly with my fabulous team and me at LaDucTrading.com for all our research and trades. Or for just my daily live streams, you can access via YouTube memberships. All links are in the description. And we have a wee stabilization bounce. It's still trying to get going. So I'm showing you right now just kind of a chart of SPY, and I have it on the monthly. We obviously started to kind of peter out back in that October $0 club tech extraordinaire, and then sideways November. I had that value over growth rotation thesis into end of February. And then I said, in lieu of sector rotation, there will be volatility March to May. So let's see how that's doing. Sideways, we know, has been the mode of operandi for the Mag 7. And it has started to weaken and energy outperform. And that's basically, this is your February high when I warned on the 3rd. And literally March 3rd, the selling actually started and we had a big pullback. Now, as we go into the end of the month, post March options expiration, we have lots of headlines that are coming in that both indicate continued escalation, right? The troop buildup, massive troop buildup, which fits into my thesis of the prolonged war in the Middle East that I wrote about and warned about since mid-February, even before the first bomb dropped. So I'm still a bear. I don't think that's going to go away. I think we're going to have bouts of this stabilization attempt, like Trump has basically done 3 or 4 times yesterday, saying they won the war and regime change, even if the regime that has been changed is more militaristic and hardlined. Doesn't matter what he says. And then the market, of course, bounces a little bit or stabilizes a little bit. Today we have oil coming back in. My point is we still have degradation underneath the surface, a lot of damage in my intermarket analysis, right? So volatility, I believe, is still going to be bid. In other words, we can fall, get supported, then move higher. So in the case of the market, first time it bounces and then the second time it breaks. This is my technical analysis of where I think the market might be going, which is to say that we could get a bounce above even the level that I gave you on Monday. So this is obviously SPX, so we're not going to see the pre-market print, but I said I am expecting 67.13, and I joked about that yesterday that I got trolled, but the point is I still see it. So I just know that the market has a key slew of treasury auctions this week, and come hell or high water, they're going to get through them without equities selling off. And we have headlines that Iran is saying, wait a minute, yes, US is stepping up efforts to secure a ceasefire. No, the talks are not viable. Quote, Iran says truce talks not viable in current conditions. So we don't really have a huge trust in the Trump administration talking points of, or I should say, their 15-point talking points getting passed through. Instead, what I believe the bulls are doing, those who believe that this will be successful conquest, are really, it comes down to this chart. So I think the bulls and the bears right now, in the short term, we're having stabilization bounce. Really, it's very critical. SPX, this 6508 that I gave as a key level that we would fall into, I'll put it back on a weekly. 4 levels of support, I said. Keltner channel, Bollinger Band, monthly, 50-week. It's a big deal. We better bounce or there is going to be a trounce of size. So it wasn't surprised that Monday morning, pre-market at 7:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Trump came out with his, we're going to not do this ultimatum business. We're going to give them 5 days. And then they can push it out again. So this escalation in Iran headline tape bombs is now the new trade war tape bombs. And you know what happens with those puts that were sold. You know what happens with post options expiration. I've explained that to you. So right now we're still in negative gamma. We're pushing up into positive gamma. Soon is my baseline bet. And that 67.13 has now become 67.39. Anyway, the point is I still see stabilization bounce. We could even, as I discussed over and over that this is key, we could go all the way back up here before the next rejection. So I still see rejection in the future, but I also see the bounce right now. Now, this is a big consideration. And as I was kind of alluding, this is a key theme of mine. Remember my client post several weeks ago? There's a torpedo headed for the US stock market, but it's not the one you think. And it was in regards to if US Israel war on Iran is unsuccessful or prolonged, and we have a prolonged energy crisis, it will pull forward recession risk. It will reverse these funding flows that were into AI tech back home. Money goes home, GCC edition. Remember all that? Okay, the bulls are betting that Trump and Netanyahu are going to prevail, get control of the Strait of Hormuz, take Karg Island, and then basically all of that money that they're going to make is going to restore GCC, and those fund flows to AI sponsorship will continue. And we need those fund flows because 50% of SPX will be highly concentrated in big tech. We've got 3 IPOs coming this year: Anthropic, OpenAI, and SpaceX. Mega tech IPOs, all related to AI firmly. AI makes the weather. Big tech with AI makes the weather. They make up 60 to 70% of 401ks. They make up 50% of the S&P concentration risk. You get the idea, right? So bulls are absolutely betting on success in the Middle East in order to continue to fund oil revenues into AI tech sponsorship. Bears are saying, what if it goes sideways? The risk is the reverse. The risk is we've just hit our highs, the market highs, and we're going to go lower, a lot lower. Yields are going to rise. Oil's going to stay very firm, and we're going to have an energy crisis and recession globally. So it's kind of place your bets time, but that's it in a nutshell. Bears versus bulls. Bulls expect this to go swimmingly well, and all of our U.S. equity, 401k, private equity investments will continue to be powered higher because they're AI with these basically imperialistic reach in Venezuela, in the Middle East, will succeed in powering U.S. AI tech. The bear case is the opposite. That's it in a nutshell. A few things. Yesterday, SpaceX is pulling forward. Look at that. Boom. This is the inverse head and shoulder I'm talking about. So all we did so far is gap down. We didn't even fill this gap. At some point, again, we will. That'll be a fabulous, fabulous target in the future, not right now. So right now I've got this inverse head and shoulder that looks like it's headed higher. So if this bounce follows through like I think it's going to, we already hit the 6666, but we got to get a little bit more, right? 6666 will turn into 6713, and then let's take it after that. But yes, we can, this measured move right here. Do you know what this measured move equals? Come on, anybody who's been here for a while knows exactly where we're headed. 6807, level by level. 6666 becomes 6713, becomes level by level 6807.
Join Club to trade with Samantha. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description.